We are live here for tonight, here for TCW Wednesday Night Metal, the last TCW coverage before the pay-per-view next week of Halloween Havoc. And we are live here tonight in a sellout crowd attendance here in the city of Sand Lake City for tonight here on TCW. And now, let's kick off the show right now as Ethan Thorne will head to the ring right here now for tonight on TCW. And here he comes down to the ring right here, right now, Ethan Thorne. And we all know that Bubba Tunde will go one-on-one against Ethan Thorne for the Hardcore Championship title at Halloween Havoc next week. And it'll be next week from Thursday will be Halloween Havoc. And the Hardcore Champion looks ready for a fight with Bubba Tunde on that night. But before we stop to that pay-per-view of Halloween Havoc, we are going to hear from the champ himself, heading down to the ring right now, Ethan Thorne, on what he has to bring up this conversation here to kick off the show for tonight. Because Thorne is a guy that has got a lot of ability in the ring. We all know that for the last year, the rivalry he had with William Brown, going back and forth between the two with the hardcore belt. And let's hear what he has to say in the ring. Ladies and gentlemen, and I know that tonight, before he fights me for my championship title, he's going to go one-on-one with Zach Reedway tonight in the main event. And I get it. I fully get it. That he's going to get his ass kicked at next week's Halloween Havoc. The real proper beating from the real hardcore champion, Ethan Thorne. Bubba Tunde may be a guy that won last week, earned that right to be involved in that matchup, of course, for this pay-per-view for next week. But he's going to be very, 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 very scared when he comes in the ring with me. I know how violent I can really be inside the ring when it comes to weapons, when it comes to a kendo stick, when it comes to a steel chair, when it comes to a table, and when it comes to a ladder. Bubba Tunde doesn't have those attributes compared to me and the experience compared to me. So he's going to have a real tough time when he faces me next week with my championship belt on the line in the most scariest pay-per-views of the year for next week. So, I know that he's got a match tonight with Zach Reedway. I'll be watching close eye on him backstage on what he can bring to Reedway before his match with me at the pay-per-view of Halloween Havoc next week. And that's all I have to say right there. And have a good evening and enjoy the show, the TCW fans here tonight in Sand Lake City. And let's get the match underway right here, right now for tonight, as we have this contest, AK-47, and also here as well, accompanied by him, Hardman J. It's going to be a singles matchup, by the way, this contest here for the first matchup here tonight on TCW, because we do have one half of the G team is going to be involved in the matchup also with AK-47 here for tonight. And that man will be going one-on-one against will be Mr. Matthews inside the ring on one half of the G team versus the other half of the Gang Style here for tonight. And they come to the ring here for this matchup here for tonight for AK-47. And it will be a very, let's say, good start of the show to have this matchup to be very entertaining, as we know that we've got one more show here left after this for next week is Halloween Havoc. We know that TCW will not be airing any programs in November due to the Olympics taking place, so Total Championship Wrestling will return back on the first weeks of December to build up to the pay-per-view of Main Star in the new year of 2025. But now coming to the ring here, accompanied by Russell Blade, is Mr. Matthews. And he is being booked for a matchup here tonight inside the ring here against his opponent, and that's going to be AK-47. And it's going to be a very, let's say, good fight it's going to be here between the two. It's not going to be very easy, it's going to be a very challenge, it's going to be a real challenge, it's going to be of a contest. But let's find out who comes up on top in this tag team bout here for tonight between those two men heading to this ring here for tonight on Total Championship Wrestling. And this is going to be huge. It's going to be definitely huge for this matchup here for tonight for TCW. In the ring, we've got it for grabs. It's going to be AK-47 and Mr. Matthews. And here we go, and let's get this match underway for this contest. And here we go, live. And we've got AK-47 here, and also as well his opponent, Mr. Matthews, going toe-to-toe in the ring. And now Mr. Matthews there, just stamping right there onto the chest of AK-47 here. And now, punch into the back, throw right there into the corner, and oh, good collision there from AK-47. Now stamped him into the chest. And now go for a leg drop, diving leg drop there to Mr. Matthews. It's very good to see there from AK. Now he gets back into the ring. Now going to go for a Hurricanrana. He's going to go for now. And now he's fighting back here, looks like here now, Mr. Matthews. Now going to go for a net breaker. A net drop breaker there from Mr. Matthews here tonight. Now DDT there from AK-47. Cover. Kick out. Now I'm going to go for a Hurricanrana. Now I'm going to go for a drop there to the arm. Now into the midsection now, and face first onto the mat. Here's a cover. I'm going to go for a 1. Now he picks him up now. And drops him the face first onto the ropes. And now a bit of a tussle between the two here now. Oh, a takedown there from Mr. Matthews here right now tonight on AK-47. Throw to the ropes. And oh my god there, AK-47 there pulled him up in the air and then face first down the mat. And now DDT now going for a cover now. 1, 2. Now kick out there for Mr. Matthews. Now good collision there now for Mr. Matthews there. Pushing on to AK-47. Now another takedown again. Now stamp right there into the hand. Now going for multiple shots now into the face here now. Brilliant to see. And now DDT. And now, what's happened here now? Another drop again. Into the back of AK-47. Another death drop again there. Onto AK-47 once again for Mr. Matthews. Another death drop again, now going for a cover. 1, 2. Kick out there from AK-47. He kicks out. And he throws there onto the ropes. Now I'm going to go. And AK-47 hits the AK-47 right onto Mr. Matthews here. And he wins for the gang style here. One half of the gang style here for tonight here on TCW. A big win here on Metal. A great win here on Metal. As AK-47 wins. And Hardman J celebrates alongside him for tonight here on Total Championship Wrestling. For the first matchup here for tonight. Big win. And a big victory indeed inside the ring for him here tonight here on TCW. And now we head to our next matchup here on TCW Metal before Halloween Havoc for next week. One of the matches here, we've got Fire as he's going to be heading down to the ring here for tonight here to take on his opponent here for our second matchup of the show for tonight against Billy Heyman, who actually was involved in that triple threat match last week with Fire to try and actually become #1 contender for Ethan Thorne's hardcore champion, but unfortunately these two men failed to win that matchup and Bubba Tunde became victorious, and he'll be fighting Ethan Thorne in that hardcore violent matchup for next week on TCW, and that'll be a real special matchup, and occasion it will be, of course, for those two men will be involved inside that ring for TCW, of course, for next week at that hardcore bout. But here tonight we've got Fire in the ring already for a matchup and contest here with Billy Heyman inside this very ring for tonight. And here he comes to the ring here, the man himself, Billy Heyman. And Billy Heyman walks down to the ring here for this great contest here of action for tonight, as he will go up against Fire inside the middle of this very ring for TCW, inside the ring for tonight. And we do know we've got 5 matches on the cards for next week. We all know that Ethan Thorne will take on Bubba Tunde for the Hardcore Championship, and also representing Metal, we know that Critchlow will be defending the Republicans Championship title against Zach Reedway, and that'll be taking place also next week at Halloween Havoc. And also representing Rage and sort of Metal as well, a tag team championship matchup between the Von Erichs, as they are defending those tag team championship titles against the Fortune, and that'll be Ace Andrews and Jack Walker for those tag team belts for next week. And also representing Rage for next week as well for the TCW World Heavyweight Championship title, we got Bobby Anderson, as Bobby Anderson will fight for next week against Harry Garrett, the TCW World Heavyweight Champion, in a rematch. And we all know that Bobby Anderson lost the championship title to Harry Garrett at In Your House pay-per-view way back of last month. And also the other match will be taking place, also representing Rage, also for next week, is going to be for the TCW European Championship, as we know that Hawk Harrison will defend his championship title one-on-one against his opponent, who became #1 contender for his championship title for that event, and that's going to be TJ Gunner. And could he win the championship title, the European belt, for next week on Thursday the 31st of October, for next Thursday? An elbow diving drop there from Fire Meanwhile, get our attentions now back into this matchup here between these two men who failed to become #1 contenders from last week, fight each other here for tonight's match here on Metal before closing through to Halloween Havoc for next week. And now throws him face first into the ring. Now count of 4. And looks like here that Fire now is in the outside of the ring here and throws Billy Heyman face first into the ring. It's good to see here tonight. And now wait a second here, he's got the armbar submission here wrapped around here the arm of Billy Heyman. He might even try and do something here, but no, he doesn't, and he gets away from it nicely. And now he picks him up here and drops him on his back of his head. That's definitely going to hurt. But now it looks like now Fire trying to fight away here this match. Into the midsection. Going to go for a power slam. And he does. Sort of. And now stamped right there into the face there from Mr. Heyman. Look at Billy Heyman right there. He's really hyping the crowd here tonight, the bully. And now cold breaker. And now he gets up quite quickly right to the Japanese fighter from Japan, Fire And power slam. This is going to be over here, and a kick out is being given here for Fire So now he's crawling to the ropes right now. Now into the throw face first into the ropes now. And now we're going to go for... Wait a second. A submission here. Onto Fire This could be over. This could be here, maybe, from this submission. Clothesline. And now it looks like those two are now batting at each other outside of the ring here. Between these two men now, count to one here now. Power slam there from Fire-Mura. Brilliant to see here tonight on Metal, here tonight in Sand Lake City on TCW. Because coming up next, the main event is going to be taking place between Bubba Tunde. We all know that he'll be fighting against Ethan Ford for the hardcore belt for next week. He's got a matchup with Zach Reedway. He's also got a matchup for next week against his best friend, Critchlow. Those two men go way back in their school days, knowing each other for a long, long time, and both travel the world together to become professional wrestlers, and then we find each other in an emotional matchup for next week at Halloween Havoc. And now count to 7 now. And now Heyman now is going to the top rope here. And goes for an elbow drop right to the back of the head. And he's telling him to get up, he is. And he's going to go for a drop kick into the side of the face. And now Fire-Mura now defends himself in the process here. Now Fire-Mura going to go for, zigzag. And now picks up Billy Heyman. And he hits it. The Fire-Mura. And he's not done yet, I don't think, here. He's going to do it with the high knee. The Kung Fu kick in the face to Billy Heyman. And he wins. Fire-Mura defeats here tonight Billy Heyman inside this very ring for tonight on Total Championship Wrestling on Metal. A brilliant win. An absolute brilliant win for Fire-Mura. A well-deserved victory for him as he wins inside the ring here for tonight here on TCW Metal. And coming up next here for the main event, we are going to have Bubba Tunde will go one-on-one here with Zach Reedway. We know that these two men have got some serious matches for next week at Halloween Havoc in their respective championship matches. But for tonight, they've got a main event matchup against each other, as that is coming up right now, next, after the break. Here we are for this matchup, the main event we have been waiting for. And we have Bubba Tunde heads down to this ring for his matchup here tonight with Zach Reedway. These two men may even become champions by the end of next week at Halloween Havoc, going into November, in the November break for wrestling, as we all know that we've got a Olympics taking place in the whole of November. So we all know that there'll be no wrestling whatsoever, but it'd be good for him to do so if he could do that next week, and especially for Zach Reedway as well. We know that Zach Reedway's matchup is a very emotional matchup, because we all know that obviously Zach Reedway and Critchlow know each other quite well in their time in their school days and growing up together, and actually went on the road together to become professional wrestlers as they are to this day. But Bubba Tunde is going to be his opponent here tonight, and we all know Bubba Tunde has got a matchup here for next week against Ethan Ford in a hardcore matchup. But we all know that Ethan Ford even said earlier here on his segment, he believes that Bubba Tunde has not got the attributes to be a hardcore champion. He doesn't know how to be violent in the ring. He doesn't know how to use weapons such as kendo sticks, steel chairs, tables, ladders. He hasn't got those attributes to become a real hardcore wrestler and a hardcore champion, and that's what he accused him of earlier here tonight on Metal. But here comes to the ring right now his opponent, and it is Zach Reedway and Nick Critchlow right there, his opponent for next week, as the Republic's champion Critchlow watches on backstage, because that'll be his matchup for next week at Halloween Havoc for the RS Championship title between those two men inside this ring for next week. But for tonight, we know that Reedway's got a match up with Tunde, and let's see what he can bring to the table inside the ring for tonight. Here we go. The matchup underway for the main event, Bubba Tunde and Zach Reedway. Here we go for tonight on the last Metal episode before we get that big break taking place for the Olympics and also the last until Halloween Havoc for next week. And here we go for this matchup here right now for tonight between these two men inside the ring. They've got a real proper matchup for next week. Means the most for them compared to this matchup tonight because it's for their respective championship matches they've got for next week at Halloween Havoc. And we know that's going to be a real big matchup to prove by for this ring here tonight here between these two men. And we've got here Zach Reedway next thrown into the corner here now into the corner by Bubba Tunde. A chop into the chest there from Mr. Tunde right there to Mr. Reedway. And Reedway gets booted into the leg right there now from Bubba Tunde himself. And now Bubba Tunde now picks him up and drops him with a death drop there at the back of him into the mat. And now he picks him up now. He trips him up. And he's going to go for the STF here. He's going to hit this STF submission early on in this matchup. I don't think he will tap out from that. It's very early onto the match, but yeah, he did try. And now Reedway there defends himself in the process here right now for tonight here on TCW. And now throw into the corner here from Reedway. Reedway now gets picked up here now from Bubba Tunde. Now Bubba Tunde gets picked up and now he's going to be dropped. He's going to be on his head, I think, and he does. And now stamps in the face right there now. And now I'm going to go for a power drive now. And I'm going to go for a big knee into the face. This is brilliant to see here tonight, folks, here, ladies and gentlemen, for TCW Metal between these two men inside the ring for the main event for tonight. Here on TCW on Total Championship Wrestling. And now it looks like he gets up, he does here. And now I'm going to go for, oh my God, uses the top rope and uses the KO right there, right onto the head there, dropped down to the mat there, the Reedway, but he does kick out though, Zach Reedway. And Bubba Tunde's going to the top rope here. And now he goes and jumps on top of Reedway, but he got out the way he did there, Reedway, and drop kicks him. And they've got to do everything what it takes, of course, here tonight to prove themselves here tonight before their matchup for next week. Even though these two men are the number one contenders for their respective championship matches, they've still got a lot to prove here tonight as well to show that they are the real threat for those championship belts. Whoever wins this matchup here for the main event here for tonight. And now a couple chops there into the corner here now from Mr. Reedway. And now throw there from Bubba Tunde there. And the referee's calling to get back into the ring or else here for tonight here on TCW Wednesday Night Metal. And now count to 7 now. And now going to try and spear him there. He tried to throw there onto the rope. A punch into the face now. And look at the Critchlow right there, watched on backstage, watching this matchup here. And especially for Zach Reedway, to keep a close eye on. Because tonight he wants to win here to prove the Critchlow that I am the real man for your RS Championship. But now it looks like now that... Oh my God, oh, that's a takedown from Bubba Tunde here now. And now I'm going for a suplex there now. Onto Reedway. Into the... Wait a second now. And drops him there on his back there. Back first. And now I'm going to go to the top rope now, Bubba Tunde. And he tried for a 450 splash, but he doesn't do that properly. And Reedway boots Bubba Tunde in the face. He's bleeding here. And he's busted open. And now Reedway now. Bubba Tunde's in the corner. And Reedway goes for a knee, tried to, but he got the way quite quickly now. And reverse there from Tunde. And reverse there from Tunde right there now for him. And a high knee right there into the jaw there of Bubba Tunde here from Reedway here. And now throw some shots into the head. And I'm going to go for... Oh my God, he hits it! He hits a diving KO onto Mr. Reedway, and he might hit the chin. Music to Reedway to end off the show here tonight, hopefully, if he gets a pinfall out of this one. And oh my god, his hand was on the ropes, and he couldn't get the free, couldn't get the referee. Says continues his matchup, play on in this match. And he picks him up now, Mr. Reedway. And now Tunde with the stump in the back of the head of Reedway to win the matchup here right now for tonight on TCW. Cover 1, 2, kick out there from Reedway. Reedway kicks out. And he's telling to suck it right there. And now goes for a knee into the head there now. And look at that, animated right there. Bubba Tunde is animated in front of the TCW crowd here tonight here on TCW Metal. And he goes for a diving jump outside of the ring. And that athleticism right there from Tunde himself. Just jumped on the 300-pounder outside of the ring. This is great to see. It's been a very, let's say, great matchup so far. And now Bubba Tunde drags his body into the ring, maybe for a cover potentially. Going to the top rope. Going to go for an elbow drop, and he couldn't. He got the way quite nicely there now, Reedway. Reedway with a big punch into the face there to Bubba Tunde. And now Reedway have the chops down, the boot into the leg here. And now Bubba Tunde fights back. And now Bubba Tunde, he's got him, and he hits it with the B5. The B5, that's going to be over here right now, and it is over. And Bubba Tunde wins here tonight here on TCW Metal before his matchup with Ethan Thorne for next week at Halloween Havoc. And that was a real stupendous victory inside the ring for tonight. An amazing victory for him for tonight here on TCW. But wait a second, the Hardcore Champion now walks at ringside here on the stage, staring at the winner here for tonight before their matchup for the Hardcore Championship title in the next week from now at Halloween Havoc. As we know that these two men will fight each other for the Hardcore Championship title for next week. And also for next week, we are going to have Critchlow and Zach Reedway, two old-time friends, go against one another for next week for the World Heavyweight Championship. That's all we have time for here tonight, here at Sand Lake City for TCW Metal. Have a good night, everybody, and we'll see you for next Thursday.